Hi, this is Daniel Hutchins, and today we're going to be talking about what Iron Man's biggest weakness is. And this is from our friend Screen Rant. So, from Screen Rant, we're doing Iron Man's biggest weakness. Well, like they always say, every hero has a weakness, or at least so legends say. So, Iron Man's biggest weakness was so silly that it was even referenced. So here we go. So Iron Man's forgotten weakness from the Marvel Comics meant that he can charge his chest plate like a phone, otherwise he would have died. This was Worm off the truck from 3 days ago. Okay, so Tony Stark is a brilliant inventor, that's true, but he's also created both him and his fellow Avengers better heroes. And by that, he's given them all kinds of advanced technology. However, in his earlier days as Iron Man, Stark's chest plate had one notable flaw that made him extremely vulnerable in battles. It could run out of a charge, and if it did, he would die. So Iron Man's chest plate, later retconned into the arc reactor, has been a core part of his iconic character since he first debuted from the pages in Marvel Comics and from the Iron Man movie from 2008, which sparked the MCU. So initially the device is built after being captured by the Ten Rings forces. Stark had suffered a grave injury that kept him alive thanks to his buddy Jensen, who constructed the chest plate to ensure shrapnel didn't reach his heart, and the chest plate made sure that Stark's heart kept beating and became the core element of his Iron Man armor. However, he would soon find out and required some regular maintenance that forced him out of commission. Okay, so related to this article is Iron Man, the Ultimate Universe's most dangerous weapon. But we're not talking about that, we're talking about something else. So Marvel Comics established from the get-go that Stark needed to charge his chest plate in order to live. This meant after battles he would need to sit near a wall plug and took himself in like a phone charger after intense battles. Otherwise he would die if his chest plate ran out of energy. Okay, so Stark is routinely seen charging his suit before and after fighting with the Avengers. Okay, and there's a picture down below if you check it out on screenrant.com. Okay, so Stark even commented that he plugged in his heart just like people plug in the electric shavers. As you can see from the panel below, which is also on screenrant.com, while form-fitting, this was incredibly intrusive. Okay, if you're still with me so far, there's still photos on here on screenrant.com. So Iron Man's greatest weakness routinely kept him charging throughout his earliest adventures. As Marvel Comics outright admitted, he would have died unless he kept doing so. It was an incredible inconvenience for Stark, and it meant he had to watch his charge constantly. So Marvel Comics ended up making big changes in Stark in Iron Man number 18 by a legend himself, R.G. Goodwin, and some others. As after suffering a heart attack battling life model decoy versions of himself, he underwent an experimental procedure that replaces the damaged tissue of his heart with synthetic tissue. Okay, so Iron Man even kept his chest plate afterward on his armor despite not even needing it. So, when the Marvel Cinematic Universe rolled around, instead of using the distracting chest plate Tony Stark wore from the 60s, they changed it to a smaller size arc reactor, which would later become canon to Marvel Comics as well. However, before the MCU and his later stories in comics, Stark needed a bulky metal chest plate constantly charged so he would die. For short times, Iron Man was Marvel's most vulnerable hero. So there you go, guys. That's just a little bit of some interesting history of the weakness of Iron Man. And if you guys like this content, please make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Make sure you comment if you have comments and subscribe. You guys have a wonderful rest of your day. And I am going to be knocking out a couple more videos. And hope to see you in the next one. Bye.